Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 20 of Red Dirt and Stardust, a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition Western and Pirate campaign. So, where we last left the group, they went on a little bit of a shopping spree. They went to a store called Chesterwick's Minor Magic Shop, expecting it to have a variety of things that were useful, only to find trinkets and toys. Reluctantly, they went over to Kana's, which they thought only sold perfumes and lipsticks and things of that nature, but found a variety of things that they could get. They then boarded the ship, where Velantrios had a little bit of trouble doing so, fearing seasickness, and decided to go down into the bowels of the ship while everybody else was getting prepared for their journey. Jed and Velantrios ended up having a little conversation about the future and what it holds involving the choice Velantrios was given. Some blows were exchanged, verbally speaking, but ultimately a deal was struck. And we start, I guess, where do we want to start? Do we want to start immediately at the end of where we left off, or do we want to give it a bit of time before we come back around and circle
I
back on the
wanna
issue?
I
I
wanna
think,
have a formal sealing of this deal.
and how does this formal sealing happen?
Well, let me show you, you little baby boy, my little fledgling. So, on my end, I will be providing you this perfume of bewitching, my advice and wisdom with dealing with fiends, and I will take care of your little problem with this mace. And on your end, uh, you will help me find one key, as well as I think I'm gonna request that little circular blasting of yours, just to make it more of a fair trade.
Fine.
Perfect. And now all we have to do is shake on it.
Okay.
We do, and you watch as flames sort of wreath our hands and travel up Jedidiah's arms, and you watch on his neck some more text appears. This all written in Celestial, if you can read it.
No.
We have a deal. I think this is the beginning of a beautiful relationship, Velantrios.
No. If you'll, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna try not to die right now. And he goes back to hugging himself.
I watch you for a moment as you like get into the fetal position, and I bend over a little bit. One last little olive branch, and I'll tap you and cast Lesser Restoration.
So you are no longer seasick. Hooray!
Hooray!
As the flames of my Lesser Restoration burn away your sickness.
I'm sure Lyla wished you did that earlier.
And then
So,
I'll return to the upper deck with a devilish smile on my face.
and a new piece of gear. All right. So, if anybody else has anything that they would like to do,
Anybody who's in the room just hears tiny little clicks constantly from the desk where Chauncey's. There's a light there now, and there's just constant little like wooden clicking sounds at that desk as he's hunched over something.
Chauncey, my darling, are you quite fucking done?
He does not even paying attention as more clicks happen.
Oh hell. All right. I'll just cast minor illusion to like try to dampen the noise. Like try to nap.
Yep. So, what are you working on, Chauncey?
So Chauncey's making lace on a bobbin pillow, and there's like 16 dowel bobbins with gold threads coming off
my
of them.
goodness.
He's just weaving lace. Get a fucking shit. It's fine.
I mean,
Just trying to keep your mind off things.
Yeah. Repetitive, minute detail work is great at that.
I have a question about the on the deck. Do they have like harnesses where you can like strap yourself in?
No.
Like no. Okay. I'm gonna
I
find
mean, they
somewhere
have like
safe.
They have like ropes and things like that that just like attach that the sailors like kind of hold on to, or they wrap an arm like around the deck, or like the railings of like the stairs or things like that. There's no like, it's not like a rocket ship where you can buckle yourself in.
Okay. Okay, I'll just find like a safe spot on deck to like sit down, and I'm gonna have Faux Pas like fly around, and I wanna see through Faux Pas' eyes as we leave. Just like watch the plate go.
Yeah, it is very disorienting to be able to see the bottom of the ship and then just look down and see nothing but empty sky. There's schools of fish swimming around down there. You might see a shark or something, but it's mostly wide open, empty sky as you are sailing off into the distance as Faux Pas is kind of traveling behind. And that is what you get. Yeah, there thankfully isn't as much rocking as you kind of get out into more of the open waters. And unless anybody has anything else they want to do, a day and a half goes by.
I actually have one thing I want to do
Uh-huh.
that night.
I have
Okay.
one thing I also would like to do.
All
You go
right.
first, Shaw.
Okay. God, this is like I'm gonna use the sending spell, the angel that we met.
Okay,
To
jeez.
Zoriathale?
Yeah, and murdered. Um, I'm gonna try to send a sending to Zoriathale. And it's just gonna be, I'm just gonna ask. I'm just be like, who is Mazarai and Dale or whatever?
Mazarendale.
Yeah, that Mazarai Dale. And what does that have to do with my friend?
Actually, she is currently on a different plane of existence, so please roll me a D100 and tell me if you get a 5 or less. Because I think it's a 5% chance that the sending spell
Yeah.
gets lost.
Four. Oh wait, that was a D10. Sorry, no, that's the wrong. That's the wrong thing. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Sorry. I rolled 2D10. Okay, 28. There we go.
Okay.
I was like, I
So
want to die right now.
it goes through. So you asked, who is Mazarendale and what does that have to do with my friend?
Yep.
Okay. Trying to think. There is, of course, a moment where you kind of feel the spell connect, and there's sort of a little bit of shock. Mazarendael is the brother of my mistress Aradia. Your friend is a warlock. He must be exterminated.
Jedidiah is hot shit.
Everybody wants me.
And that's all you get from Zoriathale,
Cool.
which surprisingly worked.
I was like, I feel like this is gonna be really bad, but never mind.
I mean,
She
you never know.
teleports right next to you and stabs you in the neck.
That's honestly, I was like,
Like-
is this gonna show up? I was like, we just beat them, so that'd be like reforming still, essentially, right? So like they can't just immediately leave their plane, right?
She's
Hopefully.
probably still in a way resting or reforming since you beat her up like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
She's probably still regaining all of her power back, reforming, pulling herself together somewhere in the celestial realms. So what was it that Jed wanted to do?
Okay, so I think on most days when nothing is happening, what Jed is going to be doing is going to some dark corner of the ship. And I think the way he's going to like try to like be communing with the his fiendishness, Mazarandael and things is that he'll summon his shadow spawn, which looks like Mazarandael, and just sort of like sit and meditate next to it and try to connect. And I want to try to put feelers out about the Aranyes that Velantrios is talking to, and try to see what I can learn about her.
All
Ooh.
right. And of course, you have seen her, so you'd be able to relay that
I didn't
thought,
get a
or you
name
saw the
though, did
memory.
I?
You did not get a name because she did not introduce herself, and neither did the druid, the dryad. Um, Neither of them introduced themselves. They just went, "Here is the option."
Yeah, I guess I'll just be thinking about the strange connection of this mace, this Aranyes. Is there any sort of divine or I guess hellish communion I can perform here to.
Roll me a D100.
All right. Oh geez, where are my fucking dice?
A dice game using dice.
Okay. Ooh. 95.
All right. So you kind of expect you to descend into the vision as normal when you sleep. But instead, your shadow spawn kind of as it's just standing there waiting for a command of some kind. You watch as its eyes kind of roll back into its head as it almost like makes these jerky motions before. You wish to speak to me.
Yes. My compatriot has been tasked by an Aranyes to murder a woman and steal a mace from her. Do I know the name of the mace? Is it like a legendary animal or something? It's just a big scary mace.
It looks like a big scary mace.
And it
It's got
appears
stained
to
glass
have
windows.
like cathedral-esque stained glass windows. Do you know anything about it?
I need to pull it up real quick so I can remember the name of it. So I'm
We've
assuming
come.
you can just like
I'll keep
relay the.
talking. Yeah, but like we've come to a deal. Um, my assistance in helping with this mace, his assistance in your freedom.
Good. I see. Interesting. Seems to be the mace of the Black Crown.
Ooh.
What can you tell
Gifted.
me of it?
It is gifted to the followers of Asmodeus. What this Erenice would want with your friend, I have no idea.
He apparently has multiple planes bidding for his allegiance. Titania and the Sealy Court seem to have their hooks in him as well.
Both have their pros and cons. The Fae are tricksy. Even Titania, in her love and light, can be tricksy and do much damage.
He speaks to a dryad about a cloak of some kind. Do you know anything of that?
Unfortunately, my knowledge of the Fae is limited.
Understandable. Well, I shall let him know all of this. Thank you for your help.
And you actually feel your concentration on the spell end as the eyes roll back and it just turns into a pillar of blood that drips into the floor.
What was the name of the mace again? I already forgot to write it down.
Mace of the Black Crown.
Mace
It
of the
is
Black,
gifted
yeah.
to followers,
Cool.
to special followers of Asmodeus.
I guess I will find Velantrios. Like, our partnership is already proving fruitful, Velantrios. I've learned a bit more about your mace. The mace of the Black Sun?
Crown.
Crown. Wow, I'm on top of it. Jed just gives you the wrong name. The mace of the Black Crown. Apparently a powerful weapon given to followers of Asmodeus.
Asmodeus. What is? I don't understand. What does he have to do with any of this?
My patron doesn't know why so many entities are currently vying for your attention. But you've certainly caught yourself in the middle of something very interesting.
I don't want to. I never wanted any of this. All I want is to go back to my hut in my forest and just. Velantrios is just walking back and forth.
I'll reassuringly put my hand on your shoulder, and Jed gets like flashbacks to like this is very much reminiscent of him and Virgil's relationship, of Jed sort of pushing Virgil towards a certain outcome in life and trying to comfort him to convince him to go abandon his church lifestyle.
Yep. And look where that led him.
Jed's a good influence. And I'll reassuringly put my hand on your shoulder. Don't worry, Velantrios. We'll get through this. And now I know a bit more about what's going on with you. We've already made a deal to help. Everything's going to be fine.
I'm still not convinced I'm not going to regret this at the end.
Well, at the end of the day, that has very little to do with me and a lot more to do with however the hell you managed to catch the attention of Titania and seemingly Asmodeus.
Okay, just you take care of...
Where is this conversation happening, by the way? Like, is this like in the room in front of everybody?
I think it's somewhere by ourselves.
Yeah, it's very,
It's like if y'all want to look for us or something, sure. It's a small ship,
I'm just
but
asking, like, so I know what I know. Like,
well,
we're like in the kitchen next to the rabbit.
Well, Velantrios
helping him cut up carrots into the stew.
Below deck as possible, so.
Right.
We have this in the bag. Don't worry. I'll take care of the mace. You just worry about finding your cloak.
Okay.
And I'll wander off to travel more.
Yes.
I like to think on one of like the slow days, Chauncey pulls out a dragon chess set and just like sets up on a fucking thing on the deck, like anybody who wants to play. But anybody want to play dragon chess?
I do.
Okay, yeah, go.
Jedidiah pointedly walks by and ignores it.
Ooh. Make me contested intelligence checks.
Ooh, the smart boys are after. Good thing it's the two of you, not any of the rest of us.
Oh god, that was not a good roll for me.
Yeah. Poker's really more.
And I try to do it with charisma.
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah,
I got a dirty 20.
Mine was a 7.
You whoop Shawthorn's ass in this chess game.
Can I silvery barbs, Chauncey?
Oh no.
Rude.
Wow.
Oh, Chauncey,
okay.
that's the move
Roll
you
it
want to
again.
do? And I'm gonna give Shaw advantage.
Damn. Okay.
Dirty
Reroll.
20 is actually the lower roll.
Damn. All right.
7 again.
I just like roll my eyes and I'm like, these people.
Watch.
I'm here enabling and they just can't. And I just walk away.
You watch. This chess game ends in 10 moves.
Oh god.
Every move, Chauncey takes a new piece. Somehow, even on the first turn, somehow Chauncey manages to take a piece. 10 turns later, your king is in check.
But like, I'm really good at this game at home. It must I don't. It must be
Like, it's not your fault. I learned how to play from someone who's 150 years old.
He's playing with weighted pieces.
I put perfume on my pieces like I'm in Antonious kingdom. My Valentine reference, you'll love it.
Beautiful.
So yeah, after that interesting encounter, I'm gonna say maybe a few sailors come up, and with that roll, you soundly whoop their asses as well, and they kind of, some of them leave frustrated, some of them are just confused. as you somehow pull a move where they make the wrong move the first move. Second move, you put the king in check somehow. It's embarrassing to watch as he moves his first piece, sits there, and you move another piece in checkmate, and everyone checks the board, spends like 5 minutes checking the board. Yep, that's checkmate. And he walks away disappointed.
I'm surprised Lyla isn't betting on this.
Oh no, she's too busy whipping the sailors' asses at gin rummy.
Chauncey very specifically won't play cards with Lyla.
Seeing as how she uses card magic.
She's just like with both of her decks of cards, like making them twirl in the air, like anybody want to go?
So you're using the deck of cards that you have, like your card sharps deck, and you're also using the other deck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. While you're
Did things
using
happen?
it may mean that I need to dig out a book.
Shit.
Let's see if I already have it dug out somewhere. No.
Yeah, I never did
unfortunately,
bother
I
to
do
find
not.
out what that deck is about.
No,
I've just kind of
no,
been
you
shuffling
didn't.
it back and forth.
At some
You
point,
didn't.
whenever we're all together, Jed will bring up, by the way, if any of you come across diamonds, hand them my way because I can use them to bring people back from the dead.
My darling, if I come across any diamonds, they'll be adorning my lovely diamond top.
All right, well then I'll be sure to take them off your corpse when I need to bring you back.
I mean, that is
At
kind of
least
why
they'll be
pirates had
handy.
earrings, was so that they
I like
could.
that Jedidiah isn't even pretending anymore.
We're not in Drake's Ridge. I don't gotta be a church boy.
Nope.
Right. Yeah.
No,
So
he
as
doesn't.
you're playing with this deck of cards,
Yes.
Unfortunately, oh, okay.
It eats you alive because it's a fucking mimic or
It's-
something. I don't
No,
know.
it doesn't. The suits are weird. They're not quite. You pull a card and it's like the 9 of fishing rods.
Word. Okay.
It's really bizarre. And there's almost a pull of the card that something would happen if you wanted it to happen. As you're playing with these cards, you end up stopping playing with these cards because these cards are bonkers.
Yeah, never seen anything like that before. Maybe just save these for card tricks. I don't know.
I think Jed might be hovering around the card game and like telepathically sending Lyla like what the other players have in their hands.
And would at that point they be playing with this particular deck?
Sure, let's say yes.
We'll say that you're hovering around during the first game. You also notice the suits are wild. There's like a 5 of bottles. There's like a 2 of
Where
arrows.
did you get this deck, Lyla?
Actually,
like a joke store or something?
I pulled the wrong one out. This actually is the one what them goblin folks left behind when we.
Oh, okay.
And you remember that deck did have a little bit of magic on it, because I believe you all checked it with detect magic, but not identify.
We did not use identify.
Chauncey has
Never gave us the chance to do identify. You just tucked him away and said, "Don't."
Yeah.
Yeah, you were like, don't worry about it.
I wasn't worried about it.
But now it is very worrying because these cards are fucking bonkers.
All right. Yeah. Maybe let's switch out. I'll say you won. It's fine. Let's just.
Yep, and you collect all the cards back up into this deck that.
Can I maybe
Weird.
see Chauncey about him, or is he our identify person? Who's our
Yeah.
identify person?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You can do it too, but
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll say
Damn.
that after the card game is done, the sailors
After
are
that
drunk.
chess match, Shaw, you gotta prove yourself again.
I feel like I'm gonna ask Chauncey actually.
Actually.
Yeah. We'll say it's like after all the sailors have gotten too drunk to play cards, you're like, this deck is bugging me, and so you take it to Chauncey.
It's just a little weird. Yeah. Chauncey, how you do?
Do you want to sit and play?
Well, I'm sure I'll get a sound whooping, but I do have something I wanted to ask you about. So sure, and she'll just like scooch upon forward. She's not really like paying attention to what she's doing. She's just moving the pieces around. I was wondering. Oh, damn. Okay. I was
Are you
wondering
sure
maybe
you wanted to sacrifice your queen there?
maybe the horse.
The horse.
The horse.
And she's just gonna like hand Chauncey the deck of cards while she's like fiddling with the piece. Like, could you maybe take a look at those? I don't know if you remember the last time we saw those.
I thought you didn't want us to look at these.
Well, they ended up coming out earlier in a game of cards. I had one too many glasses of ale. I don't want to talk about it. And they just felt odd. And let's say I'm curious. We've been on this boat for far too long. And I don't know. Nice mystery sounds entertaining, at least.
Give me a little, and Chauncey's gonna pull out of his bag one of his weird sets of like too many lenses glass goggle thing.
Oh yeah.
And he's gonna start flicking through them like he's a fucking optometrist as he casts ritual casts identify, so he can figure out what he's looking at.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I'll cast identify as a ritual on the deck of cards.
All right. It is a deck of
so that's
miscellany.
Deck of miscellany.
Yep. So you pull a card and it gives you a small item.
Okay. Cool.
Interesting.
Hang on, adding to character sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Does it need to attune or no?
Nope, it doesn't. It's not an attunement item.
Oh, and then
It's a
Chauncey's gonna
consumable.
just like flick a card out to pull something out of the card.
All
Like,
right,
to get
roll
this right?
roll me a d4. I'm going to do this because I don't think anybody has a deck of cards to hand, and I'm not going to make a pull through an actual deck of cards for this.
I got a 1.
There's only 32 anyway, so.
Yeah. So okay,
Oh,
so
this is
1,
kinda
and then
neat,
roll me a
though.
d10.
10. I got a 3.
3. So as you pull the card, it is a 3 of abacus, and the card shimmers for a moment before it transforms into a wooden abacus. It's very plain. It's literally just it's literally just a frame with a wire and beads on it, but it is now an abacus, and that card is gone.
Oh.
So you no
Fascinating.
longer have a 3 of diamonds.
Okay, got it. I should go to the Dollar Tree and get a deck of cards.
And Chauncey's gonna be like, so every time you use that property of it, you'll lose a card and it'll turn it into a magic item, or not a magic item, but a small item. And this one, congratulations, you have an abacus. Tally your
For all
the
the
debts
counting
people owe
Lyla
you
does.
from gambling.
When was
Scooches
the
the
last
ball.
time Lyla did math?
Is it for
It only
fun?
has like 3 balls.
Is it a toy?
Looks like one of those things you have a dentist's office for children to measure with.
Yes.
Lyla,
Now, the
you
last
know how
time I played with bees.
you know how to
Oh my
count.
god.
This helps with counting, so you don't have to use your fingers and toes.
Well, oh, that does sound helpful, you fucking asshole.
I don't know what kind
Thanks.
of education you had.
I guess she'll just like stuff it into her bag of holding.
Abacus.
So yeah, you just
Dang.
have a stupid little wooden abacus that you're using.
Jams in there.
And that was the last
Well,
time we ever see it again.
I
Yeah.
appreciate the insight and the demonstration of martial prowess.
Oh, Chauncey's just finishing the game while they're doing this real quick.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
soundly whooping my ass. Like I'm sure like half my pieces are gone. She's just like, ooh, this one's pretty.
Miss Lyla, I told you before, I don't know people. I'm not good at them. I never have been. But when it comes to logic, it's not that hard to think your way through a basic strategy like this.
See, and I feel exactly the opposite. Things people thinking plain on their face, but that, what did you call it?
Strategy?
Not for me.
Just think a little ahead.
I prefer spontaneity. Speaking of which, where's Jed?
I think Jed's on the deck just slinging fire around, practicing shit.
Right, on a wooden ship. How bad could that turn out?
Yeah.
All right. So you all are meeting on the deck.
Sure,
Sure.
why not?
I don't know
about
who's
all
doing
out
what.
of role play stuff, so I'm ready to progress things if we're all ready.
Yeah,
I'm
I was
certain.
just going for like saying a
Yeah,
random
we
thing.
well we
like,
do
we
stuff.
don't-
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, so the day and a half goes by. The morning of the half day, as you wake up and head onto the deck, you notice something has changed. In front of the boat, the blue in the air is ever so slightly purple, but it is only in the forward direction. When you look straight down, it's blue. Up above you, blue. Left, right, blue. Behind you, blue. But in front of you is an ever so slightly purpley blue.
Oh, isn't that just lovely?
And over the course of the day, you begin to see stars, and the sky becomes more and more purple. More of it becomes purple, swirling like clouds. You also begin to see rocks with what looks like coral on them floating underneath the ship, as well as next to the ship as you are getting very close. And you also notice that they're beginning to rise up into the air. More and more of them are getting higher and higher. And as you draw close, you see it is a vast wall. You hear the wind pick up. You see flashes of gold in this gigantic, thousands upon thousands of feet high and low wall of storm. You see lightning flashing across the front of this wall of clouds as everyone is standing on the deck.
Captain? What is this?
Welcome to the Vortex. Might want to hold on to something.
Okay.
And at this point, you feel gravity begin to shift as you get closer. And as you've noticed, the rocks, as they've kind of been floating higher and higher, are also angled weird. You feel the pit of your stomach drop. And soon, it's almost like the sky begins to move until the purple is underneath of you and you are floating down to the surface of this roiling water that is somehow both water and cloud, streaked with lightning and stars. As you land gently into the water, Leonidas, this part's a bit bumpy. I highly suggest you hold on to something. And you watch as the sailors are all grabbing onto like rope and things.
Yeah, for sure. Like hugging the nearest like pole.
You watch as the water gets closer and closer as it's like the ship is sinking. There's then a crack of thunder as the water separates, splitting the sea as your ship descends into it. The top of the waves curl over into a giant wormhole almost. The wind picks up. It's almost like there is an aurora borealis above your heads as you are surrounded by nothing but purple and stars and golden lightning as you begin to race along almost at breakneck speed. The ship's sails crack open, filled with wind as the rune glows with rainbow colors. You can feel the wind rushing through your hair before suddenly the air becomes still as the clouds move and you're floating in midair as you gaze out at the purplish sky filled with nebulas and stars. One of the nebulas almost seems to be moving as it turns. It's a giant lion's head, huge. its forehead has a star on it, and you notice it is itself a constellation. Underneath you, as you continue sailing, horses that must be 30 feet tall gallop underneath of you, each with constellations in them as well. You see schools of fish swimming around. You see a few more dolphin delighters swimming off in the distance. You see all kinds of wonderful things. And at this point, you notice that Toshiko is on the deck, just kind of standing there with her hands on her hips, staring up. Well, welcome to the Vortex. We'll be on the Astral Sea for quite some time before we make it to the Singing Sands. So drink in all the beauty you can at the moment.
Right.
A lot. Man.
Doesn't seem too bad so far.
I was expecting something a little different.
Well, that's what everybody says the first time they see it.
Well, with a name like the Vortex, a certain level of catastrophe is expected.
Oh, I'm sure we'll see it. And she just walks away at that.
How encouraging.
Isn't it fascinating to drift through the corpse of reality?
That was a fun
All
scene.
right, you have fun, Chauncey. Just walk somewhere else.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, that's what the vortex is, at least by some theory.
Such poetical phrasing you have.
It's a miracle that it even is holding together when reality almost destroyed itself.
How about we dance?
Get your wand of conducting.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I don't know how to dance.
Oh, it's okay. You just move your feet like this, see?
You continue the ship floating through this open void. At one point, you do hear a familiar sound, two of them, in fact, like a seagull, except an octave lower and 10 times louder.
Again? Come on back. We'll whoop your ass again.
Flying
Scrappy.
overhead are two of these giant seagulls, blood-stained, bone horns sticking out of various parts of their body, as they seem to be fighting over maybe a seal of some kind. They almost seem to do an aerial dance 100 feet in the air before whatever it is they're fighting over splits in half and they fly off in opposite directions, off into the void. At a different point,
Beautiful.
at a different point in the journey, you hear bells, almost like church bells. And then floating up from underneath the ship are these huge 200-foot tall jellyfish. They glow from within, and when they sort of undulate, it's almost like they are the bell, and they ring as they float off into the sky. It's probably a good 15 to 20 minutes of you just sailing through this whole jellyfish floating up beside you. And as you exit, there's a dark patch on the horizon. And as you get closer, there's a ship there, broken, cast in shadow. There actually seems to be shadows swirling around it, almost as if a stormy sea is underneath this ship. And you watch as the ship just floats there, completely empty, haunting. Toshiko is once again on the deck. Well, it is a good thing that we plan on avoiding as much of that as possible. Ghost ships, they're not fun.
Is that what happens here?
Oh yes, that is what happens when a ship sinks in the Astral Sea.
Are there
It looks...
Are there actual ghosts on it?
Well, sometimes there are, yes. Sometimes there are also zombies. They are different.
Oh, boy.
When someone drowns in the astral sea, they are not the same as they were before. Hopefully we will never run into them. And she just once again leaves on that horrible note.
I think she enjoys doing that.
I can't drown, so I wonder what happens. Chauncey just looks over the edge slightly. If I fell in,
I don't think you want to know.
I think my parents died out here.
Lord. I forgot about that part of your backstory
Jedidiah
momentarily.
just goes like, just like face palms.
I love how this beautiful landscape full of wonderful things that you all will never get to see again, possibly, is just making you all suddenly like, oh, my parents died. I wonder what happens if I just drown myself in the
You
fucking
brought up
sea.
ghost ships and zombies.
Jed just doesn't know how to like handle Shaw. He's just so, I don't know, innocent and pure and like, like
He's immune to your corruption.
oh, okay. Do you want to talk about that?
No, it's
Oh,
fine.
all right. You just kind of blurted it out there. So, what? Sure, man.
He's just like a little ray of sunshine.
Just, I'm not gonna waste the tech thoughts on that.
So unless anybody has anything else, you continue along. Oh, I didn't know we lost Yofi.
Yofi's been gone for
Yeah.
like there he is.
There he is.
I
Literally,
was
the
gonna
moment
try-
you mentioned it.
Oh,
He-
you
he
missed
cares.
it.
but you guys just didn't stop talking for me to tell you what happened to him.
Sorry.
I noticed when
I
I
got
said I
too
think my
into it.
parents died out here that Lyla didn't reply at all. I was like, oh, Yofi's gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
we can
what-
kind of
what-
head
what did
back
I
to that
miss here?
moment. What was the last thing you remember? We're professional on this show.
Yeah.
What was the last thing you remember?
Jed face palms and says, "You want to talk about that?"
The last thing I remember, we heard the seagull.
Oh. So you went through a lovely forest of jellyfish that rang like bells. They were hundreds of feet tall. They were big. And then you saw what
Cool.
happens to ships when they sink in the astral sea. And it's not good.
Ghosts and zombies.
And then Shaw offhandedly
Oh,
said, I think
cool.
my parents died out here.
Oh, how delightful.
The social graces here are truly just
Abominable.
Apparently, he doesn't want to talk about it though. He just wants to share that tidbit, I guess.
A tidbit of information.
Great. Didn't want to save that for a tea or something.
Just a fact.
Oh,
Says
right.
you.
Well,
I mean, at least if they died out here, it was pretty.
It is pretty.
They probably turned into horrible undead, but that's neither here nor there.
Thanks, Shed.
okay. And where are we heading? Wow, it's like the boat's going so fast.
It's weird. It's hard to judge speed out here because everything is so big. It's hard to judge speed. It's also kind of hard to orient yourself as you're looking around and you're seeing what typically sailors would use, the constellations. They seem to be real. Like, it's not just, oh, the stars are close together. They are the thing that it appears that they are. You saw the lion constellation. You saw the horses constellation. You even see like a constellation that takes the form of a salmon, hundreds upon hundreds of feet long, that just swims off somewhere else.
Cool.
And if these things are orbiting so much, moving around, how does one navigate this place? It seems confusing. But as you continue along, it seems things quiet down a little bit. and the day passes.
I'm surprised nothing has tried to eat us yet.
Yet.
Usually that happens.
Yeah.
Yet is
Keep
the key
counting
word.
chicken.
So the morning comes. There are no nighttime visitations, no. You might have had strangely vivid dreams. Perhaps of a childhood memory that was somewhat positive. Perhaps a strange one, like playing cards or eating candy in a candy land of some kind.
Jed
But
has a
strangely
dream of,
vivid.
like, a date that Chauncey and him went on as teenagers.
Oh,
At least it's better than my dream of my zombie parents. Thanks, Jed.
You were already thinking about it. We were all thinking it. I just said it.
Chauncey has a date about a teenage, or Chauncey has a dream about a teenage date, and then Shaw's zombie parents are there on a double date.
It sounds like a 2000s kids show.
It's a
My
very
zombie parents.
odd dream. Somehow it's at Troubadours, even though you know you wouldn't have been able to afford it as kids.
love that.
Chauncey's probably having another nightmare, TBH. It's fine.
I don't even know what Velantrios would be dreaming of, if it's like another visitation or if it's just him dreaming about being in the forest again.
You dream about the Aaron Yez and the Dryad like making out.
No, he doesn't need that kind of trauma.
Yeah, it's probably just a lovely running through the forest. And when you wake up, you all have strange sensations for but a brief moment when you wake up. The moss beneath your feet, the taste of a particularly good dish of pasta, perhaps the smell of zombies in your nose. It seems
Yummy.
real for an awkwardly long amount of time before it begins to fade.
Okay, so and Velantrios in to himself is like, okay, so dreams become reality.
Anybody else a little perturbed in the night?
Haley Poe is sleeping next to Lyla, or just laying next to Lyla.
You wake up to Robot Sphinx.
Ooh, hello.
Tasty
Well,
pasta.
At least it didn't mess on me like that one.
Who are you referring to?
You.
I think we all know.
To whom am I referring? Velantrios?
So the boat continues along in the morning. Or is it morning? It's hard to tell. There's not really a day-night cycle here. It's just
Something.
the same. The light level stays the same. You only know that it's probably night because you all get tired. And as you go onto the deck of the ship, you notice in the air, spiraling through the air, is almost traces of iridescence like aurora borealis's. There's almost a quiet melody that you can't quite make out
Oh boy.
somewhere in the air. And as the ship continues, the captain says, "All right, everybody prepare. We're about to enter the Singing Sands, so make sure you hold on."
First time coming through this way.
There seems to be more of these sort of aurora borealises that seem to swirl and get closer before it just rips a hole and the ship sails straight through it and begins falling at breakneck speed.
Yeah,
You can feel the gravity pulling you towards this expansive waste of white sand. And when you pass into this hole in reality, it is at first almost deafening. Singing. The air is filled with singing, almost like a sort of Roman choir that fills the air. And as you hurtle towards the land. The ship pulls up and it rushes probably about a foot off the sand across this landscape that seems to be undulating. And you realize you're also hearing bells. And as you lean over the side, the grains of sand aren't white sand, they're clear. Almost the diameter of rock salt, rough rock salt. And as they bang together, they make the sound of tinkling bells as you rush across the sand. The sky is dark, strangely, for how brightly lit the sand is, reflecting the light of a noonday sun. The sky is dark. It's almost the color blue that map makers use when they want to illustrate night or darkness, but don't want to use black. That fades to a sort of royal blue and then to a sapphire blue, and on the horizon is endless nebulas. But there is nothing but sand and the singing in the air as you rush forward across the sand. Welcome to the Singing Sands. You're going to be here for 5 days. Although with no sun in the sky, no moon, it's hard to tell when the first day begins and when the day ends.
Not like we would know the difference.
Velantrios looks over to Chauncey and asks, would you be able to invent a timekeeping device?
I suppose I probably could try to whip something together.
I would say pocket watches and things like that exist in this universe, so you could probably like jerry rig a pocket watch of some kind or like a clock.
Hey, Chauncey's gonna fucking build a clock.
Like a grandfather clock somewhere on the ship.
Oh my God, I love it.
It's
Damn, should have held on to that orb of gonging.
I feel like Chauncey low-key started the clock like the day previous when we entered the vortex, because time no longer flowed sensibly. And so he's just like, I got you covered, I got you covered. And he just pulls out a fucking mini clock that he made. Do you want me to make a roll to check?
Yes, I would like you to make a tinkering check.
Tinkering. Okay. Other than proficiency, what stat can I add to it?
I think it would be intelligence.
Oh, sick. Okay, so proficiency is +3, intelligence is +5. So that's a 17 on clock. I got a 17 on my clock making check.
All right. Yeah. It's a serviceable clock. It might not be the prettiest thing in the world, but it is a serviceable clock. It will keep time.
He uses a little bit of the sea because he has so much sea glass left over. It only took a little bit to make Tailipo's wings and shit.
Yeah, you probably have like 4 2/3 pounds of sea glass left out of the 5 pounds you got.
See, I'm just gonna hand Velantrios. I made this yesterday. You can have it.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so you have a pocket watch that keeps time.
Like, this session has been like going to the mall.
I know, and I hate to ruin it with what's coming up. Dun dun dun. Anyway, so as you're sailing along, you do see a few things that are interesting. It's hard to tell when one day ends and the next begins, and so you end up going to sleep about twice at this point. And as you are sailing across the seas, it's not as barren as you once thought. Ruins that seem to be made of these crystals pressed together of white stone occasionally rise from the waves and lower into them. On one, you actually see a creature that is quite familiar, especially to Chauncey. It's a sphinx with bluish fur and iridescent rainbow wings, and it stares at you with white eyes that glow with sunlight as it just stares as the ship goes by. Occasionally, you see these sort of flying fish fly out of the sands and begin to fly, swarming the boat, keeping pace with it. And actually, on some of them, you see these tiny little people They're only about maybe 5 or 6 inches tall, wearing these sort of white masks, their hair made of smoke as they kind of look at you for a moment before all the fish divide and go into the sand. As you continue along, the air suddenly becomes quiet. The song subsides a tiny bit. You hear the rush of the sand and the tinkling of the grains hitting against each other. It's starting to weigh on everyone as they all look around. And you hear a great rushing sound. As a few hundred feet in front of you, it looks like the sand just creates a huge pit that opens. It's hundreds of feet wide as the sand begins to swirl like a vortex. At this point, the ship, the crew, jumps into action. They begin pulling on ropes and pulleys. Keep your wits about you. We
I'm
don't
gonna
know what this
summon my
is.
shadow spawn just to have out.
All right, you summon your shadow spawn.
Yeah, I'm smelling something here.
And as you get closer, the song is discordant now. It clashes violently. It is not so much singing as it is the singers are screaming, trying to keep the tune, but something is pulling them off course. You hear Leonidas spinning the wheel hard. You see them desperately trying to pull at the sails, but the ship is being pulled towards this open vortex. At the center of this is probably what appears to be a 30-foot wide orb of total darkness. And yet somehow it's giving off light, and occasionally white lightning crackles around it. The ship begins to creak as it hits the rim of this whirlpool and begins to travel around it. There's a possibility that you all are going to tip in. And at this point, I would like you all to roll initiative.
Cool. Also, I'm gonna say at some point Lyla changed into her like not dress adventuring gear, put the armor on.
Oh my god, I got a natural 20.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
I got a natural
one.
one. Hell yeah,
Oh,
brother.
goodness. So Velantrios got a 20.
Technically, it's a 3.
A 2.
Yeah.
2 for
Technically,
Shaw,
it's a
3 for
22.
Jed.
I got a 6.
Damn,
Chauncey
you have
got a
2.
dirty 20, not a nat 1.
So 6 for Lyla, dirty 20 for Chauncey. So since you and Velantrios both got a dirty 20,
No, I got a nat 20.
We got a nat 20, so
Nat
it should
20.
be higher than
okay,
Yeah.
I will, just for ease of reference, I'm putting you at 21, Velantrios.
Well, it was technically a 22.
Yes, but also I need to, oh, okay, it's a 22. All right, I'll make it a 22. And I need to roll for something. I can actually flip to it. There it is. Dun dun. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yikes. Okay. As you all feel the ship beginning to rock and creak forward, you see there are shadows orbiting this ball in the center, and one of them does fly up to the ship. Seems to be made out of ribbons almost, shadowy ribbons that form a ball that's about 2 feet in diameter, at the center of which are a cluster of small stars. The ribbons themselves look like they're made of the night sky, but they end in sharp darts. And it floats onto the ship, almost like it's looking around, waving before it, all its needles point forward. It's clearly about to attack. However,
I don't like the looks of
first
that.
up is Velantrios. What would you like to do?
Kick its ass.
I would like to do Word of Radiance.
All right.
Seems like a
What is the
small-
range of Word of Radiance?
5 feet.
Okay, so you do have to get close to it,
Okay. How
which
far
means
away
you
is
need. I would say you probably only have to use like 20 feet, but you do have to make a wisdom saving throw. As you get close to this thing, the discordance is beginning to vibrate in your brain, making the edges of your vision go blurry.
That is going to be 26.
You manage to shake off this effect and push through. You are completely fine. So, Word of Radiance, it's a saving throw, correct?
Saving throw. Tax Constitution 16.
All right. Well, even with advantage, it only got a 9, so it's taken radiant damage.
Yes. So, the word I would like to say is, sorry.
Nothing.
Well, I was gonna say fuck off.
Oh, I was right.
Fuck off. Once again, you put up the middle finger and it glows as you yell, fuck off! And your Word of Radiance goes off. So roll damage. And remember, you are using 2 dice instead of 1 because you are over 5th level.
2d6.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, where are you? There you are. It is going to be 7 damage.
All right, not bad, not bad. As this thing shudders, the ribbons undulating and the stars flickering as the light shines through it. Is there anything else you would like to do on your turn?
Uh, where was that thing where you could look at bonus actions?
If you click on the bonus actions part of it.
Oh yeah, the bonus actions tab.
2 weapons, fighting, spells, healing word, misty step. I would like to do misty step to go back to the group.
Which you can do because Word of Radiance is a cantrip. So you get off your Misty Step and back over to your friends. So now it is Chauncey's turn with, sadly, the monster on deck.
Yay.
Me and Lovey May are gonna charge it. Why not?
All right. Roll the hit.
Okay. How does a dirty 20 do?
Oh, that does perfectly fine.
Cool. Do you need me to separate any of my damage?
Not unless it's psychic.
Nope. Okay. That's 19 damage on the first hit.
Oof. You do a good chunk of damage to this thing.
Second attack.
Uh-huh.
That's a 25 to hit.
Yep, that'll hit.
And ooh, that's more damage this time. 21 damage on that hit.
Oof. All right.
And Chauncey's gonna like whistle for Talipo to try to shoot a dart at it. From Talipo's just like on, just randomly floating around 30 feet away. That is only it's my spell attack modifier. That's a dirty 20 to hit.
Yes, that hits. And I forgot to have you make a wisdom saving throw. We'll do it after the end of your turn. It's fine.
Okay, that would be 6 points of force damage.
Oof. All right.
So I need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom save. Yeah. I should have done it at the beginning of the turn, but whatever.
Oh, cool.
It's
That's
fine.
a 9.
For what?
The discordance gets to your head. It fills your head, and you can do nothing but hold your hands against your ears, but it won't make it stop. You are incapacitated.
Oh, cool. So
That
is
should
that
have gone
after
off
I
at the
hit it?
beginning of the turn, but we'll just say it happened after. It's fine. Because it is
Okay.
now the monster's turn. And the monster, whatever this thing is, you don't know what it is, it's going to make 2 attacks with its like dart ribbons that go out towards you, Chauncey. That is not gonna hit. That's an 8 plus a 9. I'm rolling like crap. Does a 25 hit?
A 25 will hit.
Silvery barbs.
That does not hit because does an 18 hit you?
An 18 meets my AC. And if I'm incapacitated, I can't use a reaction.
All right, so it
It
still
still
gets you as you watch one of the darts try and get to you, but it hits into the armor. The other one hits you directly in the forehead, this dart. And it is going to do, it doesn't do that much. Where is my D8? This is my D8.
And we'll give it to Chauncey.
So that's going to be 14 points of force damage as this dart sinks into your forehead. And
Oof.
it is going to, I'm going to need you to make a DC, an intelligence saving throw.
Oh, okay. I'm kind of good at these. Okay, that's a bad roll.
And use the
Oh wait,
Oh,
yeah,
I
you
can
get
use the
advantage.
silvery
Yeah,
barbs.
yeah.
I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah,
use
the
the
silver
silvery
barb's
barbs.
advantage.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'll use the silvery barbs to not take a 4. I'll take a 19 on my roll, which would make it a 27.
There we go.
So that succeeds.
It was good for something.
And this thing seems to burn in your head, trying to find something, ripping your brain apart with discordance, finding melodies and breaking them apart. So you are. What's half of 27?
13 if you're rounding up, 14 if, or 13 if you're rounding down, 14 if you're rounding up.
13, I think, because I always round down. So you'll be
Yeah, you
taking
always round
13
down.
points of psychic damage.
Oh,
And then, oh goodness, what's half of 13? 6.
6.
All right. For no particular reason.
Great.
And that is going to be the end of that creature's turn as the dart actually stays in your forehead as you are grappled, as well as incapacitated. So, next up after this creature is Lyla, followed by Jed, then Shaw, then back up to the top with Velantrios.
I'm gonna cast Enlarge Reduce on Chauncey and then give him Bardic Inspiration.
All right.
Chauncey's like half floating, grappled psychically by this thing, and he not doing much right now.
Well, actually, that's why I want to cast Enlarge Reduce, because I think it would end the I don't think you could still be grappled if you're large.
I think you can grapple someone who's up to one size larger than you, I think.
Yes.
So depending on the size of the
Oh.
creature.
Then that means it would break it.
Yes, that's what I was going for. Word.
So
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
as you grow, this thing tries to keep a hold of you, but the dart slips out of your forehead as you become big. You are still incapacitated.
My other character has a grappling build.
Of course. Of course.
Love it.
Yeah, and then Chauncey, you get Bardic Inspiration.
Yep.
Yay.
Look alive, Chauncey. Shake up.
All right. So that means it is Jed.
All right. I'm going to cast Scorching Ray at the guy. So I'm going to do three, right? Yes,
Yep.
3 rays of fire.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is a 14 to hit.
That just hits.
Hell yeah. The second one is a lot higher, and the third one is a lot higher.
All right.
So
Roll
all
that
3 are gonna
damage.
hit. So the
Roll that sweet,
first
sweet
one
damage.
does 4. The second one does 8. And the third one does 5.
All
So
right.
17 in total. Fire
right.
damage.
Yeah, you begin to
Fire.
pummel this thing with fire.
And then I will use my bonus action to heal Chauncey. I will use 2 uses of my healing light. So Chauncey can recover 9 hit points. Get back in there, Chauncey.
As they're all
Yeah,
desperately trying to.
And then it is my Shadow Spawn's turn.
Right.
And he is going to move up to the guy.
Wisdom saving throw.
All right, he gets a
it.
+0. Let's roll them bones. 9.
As it gets closer, once again, you feel it through the spell. The discordance takes over. It is splitting apart its mind, and it can do nothing but hold its head. It is incapacitated.
Yeah. Does it get within 5 feet of the thing?
Um. Uh. I'm going to say no, it does not, sadly.
And nothing happens.
All right.
And I'm done.
All right. So Shaw, it is now your turn.
So I'll just hold the dead thing, I guess.
All right. So what saving throw is it?
Wisdom.
It has pretty good wisdom. Oh, it has really good wisdom.
Fuck.
So, and it also gets advantage, because it's a spell.
That's fine.
So that's a 22, and that's lower, but it has advantage. So 22.
I'm gonna make it a 2.
All right, so roll that damage.
That's gonna be a 2.
That's gonna be a 2. And 14 damage. I'm sorry,
Ouch.
13 necrotic damage.
All right. Ouchie Wawa.
There's one
It
torn die.
shudders as the necrotic energy ripples through this thing.
Jed, we've seen your little pet guy, right?
My
In
Shadow
battle?
Spawn?
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw him once before.
How far away is the shadow spawn from the thing?
I don't know. How close does he get, Spencer?
I'm gonna say like 15 feet.
He's 15 feet away.
Too far away. Never mind.
All right. So, since we are going back up to the top, at the start of the turn, a few things happen. Another one of these things floats onto the boat.
Fuck no.
Cute.
And it seems to, as it's, just kind of floating around, it begins to aim at the crew. It is at the prow of the boat. I'm assuming you all are near the stern. But at this point, you hear calling out over the discordance is almost like a song of some kind, as flying over the horizon is a very large bird. As it gets closer, seems to have a human face to it.
Okay.
And there's several others with it. Women with bird-like feet and wings instead of arms in rainbow colors.
Sirens.
As
Seriously.
you interestingly hear this big bird shout out, "I will try and pull the boat. You sing the song of the winds, fill their sails." And you watch as this harpy lands on the railing of your ship, on the side that is not tipping in, and begins to pull as she's beating her wings hard, trying to pull the ship back. You watch as her harpy sisters fly through the sails and begin to sing as the sails begin to balloon out again, and your ship begins to creak and crack as it begins to sail towards the edge to get out. It seems they are helping you. However, it is the beginning of the round. Velantrios, there are now 2 of these things on the boat. What would you like to do?
I would like to do bless at 3rd level, which is enough to do all 5 of us.
All right, so then everybody is blessed.
That's what? A D4 for
It is a
basically
D4.
everything?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
All right. Anything else you would like to do?
That counts as my action, right? I mean,
Yes.
Where's the crew again?
So the crew is kind of all over the ship, but there are some that are near the prow of the ship because that's their job to like deal with the sails and things up there. But there is one of these things that kind of has pointed all of its darts at one of them that's kind of floating. It's probably maybe 50 feet away from you.
1 second. Ah, let's see. That is a radius of. Sorry about this. Oh, okay. How far away are they again?
So one of them is about 30 feet away from you. The other is about, I think I said 50 feet away from you.
Okay, I'm gonna Misty Step to the one who's 30 feet away from me.
You cast a spell, a leveled spell. You cast Bless, so you can't Misty Step, unfortunately.
Even if it's a bonus action.
It's
a
two leveled spell.
Oh, okay.
So when you on the first turn when you cast Word of Radiance, that's a cantrip. So you could do
Right.
that and Misty Step. But because you blessed, you can't Misty Step now.
Okay, that's fine with me. I'm good.
All right. Chauncey, it's your turn.
Wisdom
Big
saving
boy.
throw.
Do.
Saving throw.
Yes.
And
Wisdom
you have that
saving
bardic
throw.
inspiration if you need it.
And you have
What's
the
your-
bless.
What's the bardic
And-
inspiration?
D6.
D6.
Okay, we'll see if I need it.
Mhm.
I think I'm gonna use the bless because yet again Chauncey gets -2.
Nice.
To
Well, you get the
wisdom.
bless regardless.
Yeah, well, I mean the bardic inspiration on this. So a 16 total, 18 -2.
Ooh,
No.
it is not enough.
No.
As you continue to be assaulted by the discordance of whatever this thing is.
Let me see about. Nope, Bloody May is also incapacitated. That's my turn.
Chauncey, we literally can't do this without you.
Literally.
All right.
Oh, God.
Like,
So it is
This thing
going to
came in and was
be
like, take down the big one. Like,
it's going to be the first mote's turn as it turns and tries to ribbon you again.
silvery barbs.
well, let's see if it hits.
Well, I got a 15 and it has a +9. 11
Okay.
+9, so that'll be
Silvery bar.
dirty 20 to hit.
No.
So
Did it
that's
still
only
hit?
its first ribbon as the dart sinks in. Second dart. That
2 for
was
2. 0 for 2 on
terrible.
the silvery barbs.
That was only a 3. Wait, does incapacitated get advantage?
No, thank God.
I don't think so.
It
No.
says I can't take actions or reactions.
Okay, yeah.
That's
Okay,
it.
so the second one was a 3, so it missed as it clings off of your armor. So you are going to be taking 13 points of force damage. And then
We'll
I need
give
you to make an
Chauncey the-
intelligence saving throw.
And he can have the advantage if he wants it from the silvery barbs.
Points.
Oh, yeah.
As well as bless.
I think I'm just gonna
Give
take.
you the plus.
Well, we'll do the intelligence saving throw without, because maybe the silvery barbs is what'll get me out of being incapacitated.
I'm hoping.
Did you fail?
I got a 13 on my intelligence saving throw.
You have advantage. You also have the bless. I don't think the
I
bless is
used
going to
the
help.
I used the bless. I got 1 on the bless.
Oh,
I'm choosing not to use the silvery barbs advantage because it might get me out of the incapacitated, I think.
Right.
all right.
Right.
Well, this thing is going to drain you again.
Oof.
Hot.
You big meanie.
Fortunately, it is only 16 points of psychic damage. And then you watch You notice this thing has been shrinking and growing occasionally. It is now the other moat's turn, and it's actually just going to attack one of the crew members.
Oh wait, actually, I have a quick question. I don't know if it matters, but I did toll it at necrotic in hopes that that might cancel that, but I don't know if it does.
No.
Okay.
No, it doesn't,
Just
unfortunately.
our fingers crossed.
And yeah, it hits and do some quick. Yep, and then it's gonna do that one.
Wait, it's attacking the crew
Ooh.
now?
Yeah.
And
It's attacking the crew.
yeah, you watch as this moat pierces into one of the crew members up front, and the crew member dies, bleeding out of its eyes and ears.
Is it an important
Oh.
crewmate or just a random crewmate?
Just a random one.
Okay, cool.
Ain't gonna be anybody lifting your shit.
I'll silvery barbs that.
Well, it hit both times, so
Oh, well, then never mind.
I was maybe
Like-
save that.
Lost cause.
I only thought it was one hit. All right. R.I.P.
R.I.P. whoever that was.
Does the body just like float off the deck?
It doesn't seem to do anything at the moment. And so we did both of those moats, and now it is Lyla's turn with Jed and Shaw on deck.
Yes, sir. All right. We are going to. Let's see. Gosh. I think we're gonna flourish my imbued fairy fire on it.
All right.
So we're gonna bonus action fairy fire.
And that is
No.
a saving throw, correct?
I believe it is. Oh, wait. That's not how I set that up. Let's do. No, actually, I'll cast Fairy Fire. I won't use the card. I'll use my bonus action to do Unsettling Words.
What does
Yeah.
Unsettling Words do?
Unsettling Words uses my Bardic Inspiration to give them a debuff on saves.
All right. So let's see what the save. It's a dexterity save, correct?
It is a Dex save. Yeah, Dex 16.
It gets a 23.
Fabulous. Fucking of course it does.
Silvery
Right?
barbs.
And it still
I
gets the
for-
minus 1d6.
Does a 19?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Cool.
This thing rolls
Yep.
really well.
I give myself
Obviously.
advantage. Because I
Of
can't rely on
course.
fucking anybody.
Apparently not. Jesus. Yeah, I'm tapped.
All right.
Oh my God.
So, Jed, maybe something will come
Alright.
of this.
Come on. Big numbers. I'm going to do a 3rd level guiding bolt,
Oh, goodness.
and I have advantage on that attack.
Right.
So that's gonna be the first roll is a 24 to hit, the second roll is a 27 to hit.
Yep, that both hits.
And then roll 66. There's a lot of 1s and 2s in there. Only 17 radiant damage.
Oh, no.
But then he gets a royal and throw my fiery radiant shit at him, and now he's all glowy. And then I'm gonna bonus action firebolt him with my quicken spell.
Right.
And that
At advantage.
at advantage, yes. Wow, both rolls are pretty bad. But it's a 14 to hit.
That just hits.
Suck yeah. And then 2d10 fire damage, which is
Ooh.
11 fire damage.
Ooh. This thing is not doing too hot. The ribbons are just about shredded on this thing as it's floating feebly in the air.
And now it's my shadow boy. Does he get to just roll to get out of incapacitation?
Yes.
Cool.
It is a
flat d20.
wisdom
I got a
saving
1.
throw. He does not save out of
He's
it.
vibing.
All right. So Shaw, your turn.
Take it home, Shaw.
Jesus fucking Christ.
You can probably kill it this
We
turn.
need to prove we can do something without Chauncey.
I will toll the dead the thing.
All right, and that is a Constitution.
Yeah, I'm
saving
just gonna.
throw?
It's a wisdom. I'm just gonna make it a 6.
Oh, okay. It had 2 hit points, and since you have 2 dice and you roll at least 1 on each dice, it dies.
Yay!
If
We
you
did
We did it without Chauncey.
You watch as the ribbon kind of unravels and the discordance in the air fades a little bit, but there is still that one moat on the other side of the boat 50 feet away.
Bonus
Slowly killing the
action.
crew
I
members.
want to telekinetic shove, but pull that other moat towards us.
Can you do that from 50 feet away?
It's I think it's 60-foot range. Hold on, let me double check.
Or are Chauncey and people still incapacitated?
Couple.
Oh no, it's only 30 feet. Just kidding. Just kidding. I can't.
Yeah, sadly. There is nothing that says it ends when it dies. So
Maybe
we still
they'll
have
just
another
be
one of those
that way
moats.
forever.
Well, you know what? I'll telekinetically shove Chauncey 5 foot closer to it.
Get in there, champ.
So yep, you
Still
watch as
can't
Chauncey's
move,
giant body just 5 extra feet across the floor.
He's like a Pokemon.
Chauncey, I choose you.
Toss him.
All right.
Gigaton hammer.
Tick-a-ton, let's
Honestly,
go.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Chauncey would be a Tinkaton.
I'm calling it right now, like because she tinkers. I love
She
it.
tinkers.
Yeah.
Smashes things.
He's a
like-
fairy.
Oh my god.
Vampire, thank you very much.
He's
At
going
the
bam,
top of the
bam, boy.
turn, this harpy keeps flapping, trying to pull the boat back as her sisters continue singing into the sails. And she just calls out, "Be careful! Those are motes of discordance. They'll rip you apart given the chance."
You're Scottish?
Apparently.
We noticed that. Man.
And so we're at the top of the turn, the top of the
Accents are
round
weird
with
as basic.
Velantrios. What would you like to do? This thing is 50 feet away from you and it just killed a crewmate.
Guiding bolt at 3rd level.
Awesome. Roll it.
Hell yeah.
Roll that attack roll.
That is going to be 21.
Oh yeah, that hits easily. Roll damage.
Oh, sorry, that was the damage.
Oh.
Well,
Hit DC. It's the hit DCs that I'm doing, right?
D20 plus your spellcasting attack roll.
Plus a D4
yeah,
for
yeah,
bless.
click the hit DC button. That's what
Oh,
it
plus
is.
a D4 because of your bless.
Plus D4.
Oh, I've been forgetting bless this whole time. Like,
We're all blessed.
Welcome. 16.
That hits.
Okay, now I'm gonna do the damage.
Yes.
That is gonna be 22 damage.
Oh my god. That
This thing.
you do take a good chunk
Plus-
out of this thing.
Does so the thing is it at this level it also does at higher levels you guess using a spell slot or segment blah 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 the damage increases by 1d6 for each slot level.
It should automatically do that for you.
yeah, did you
Yeah.
click it from
Yeah.
your 3rd level like area?
Yes.
Then it should.
yeah, then it
automatically.
yeah,
Yeah.
then it did it.
That it already
Okay.
does the
That
damage.
sounds like 3rd level damage.
Yeah.
It is 3rd level damage. That's insane. Yes, you blast this thing. And it continues to make weird discordant noises. Chauncey.
I'm using solar barbs and bless and trying to
Roll
not
it.
be fucking mind fucked right now.
I believe in you.
Try Advil.
You can do it.
I got a 16.
That is not enough. You are still incapacitated.
With the Bless had the advantage. No.
The discordance is still ripping your mind apart.
We found Chauncey's weakness.
So
Whatever
now
the fuck this thing is.
we are at the moat. And it is going to turn its darts and fly forward. It's going to use dash. It's going to dash towards you, and it's going to get right up in your face, Velantrios. Its needles kind of aiming at you, but since it dashed, it can't attack. So that is the end of its turn.
Great.
However, it is also amongst you all, which, dun dun dun, means whoever's next, Lyla, make me a wisdom saving throw as you started your turn within 30 feet of this thing.
It's a
God.
big fucking radius. Wow.
Fuck.
These things are terrifying.
Do I have anything with the? Oh, come on! Why did it roll over? It was so close.
Incapacitated.
All right. Yeah. I rolled a 4.
Yep, so you are incapacitated as the discordance that's echoing out of this thing reverberates in your mind. It hurts. You are incapacitated.
Okay, hang on. Let me update my thing.
Come on, you're a drinker. You're used to headaches.
Incapacitated. Here we go.
Jed.
Well, wait a minute.
That breaks concentration too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm concentrating on anything, am I?
You were enlarging Chauncey for no apparent.
Oh yeah, so Chauncey returns to normal size.
Oh yeah, that's
We
right.
just had big Chauncey for a while.
Standing
Big
around.
Chauncey, that
just
could do
being
nothing.
Big.
All right. So Jed, your
All right,
turn.
come on,
Wisdom
come
saving
on.
throw.
Big money, big money. Fuck yeah. And then with Bless on top of that shit, I'm good. I'm good, baby.
What number did you get?
That's 24.
Yeah, that's good enough. You managed to shake off this thing's effects. It is right in front of you. I'll say it's like 10 feet away from you.
Gross. Do I get the feeling like I'm going to be continually subjected to this, or am I good?
No, you are good. Once you save, you're good.
All right. Do I have any better hits besides Guiding Bolt is the question. I don't think I do. So we're just gonna hit
Guiding
him with
bolt that
another
sucker?
3rd level Guiding Bolt.
All right, roll it.
Don't forget to add bless this time because apparently you
With
haven't.
Bless.
Been.
Oh Jesus, yeah. I need it in order to hit. I need to roll at least a 2. Which I rolled exactly a 2. It's a 14.
That is just enough.
Hell yeah.
Roll the damage.
C's get degrees, baby.
Thanks
Very
for the
true.
bless.
Another 17 radiant damage.
Good lord.
And the only real bonus action I can do once again is my Healing Light. I think the only person who's damaged right now is Chauncey.
Yes, severely so.
I will
After
do
taking
He's
2
popped
of
out.
these things mind-draining attacks.
I will do another 2d6 on Chauncey. And I roll 2 1s, so that is 2 hit points for you, Chauncey.
Oh my god.
Damn. All right.
Yay!
Shaw.
Oh,
it's
and then
your
my shadow
turn.
spawn. My shadow spawn gets to roll.
Oh,
Again,
gets to roll.
Come on, baby, big money, big money. We're going for this shit. Natural 20 on
There
the
it
shadow
All
is.
right, it is
spawn.
free. Your shadow spawn comes out, pushes through the horrible
Hell yeah.
discordance.
He's gonna run up to the guy and slash at him.
All right.
So that is roll a d20 to hit. Oh geez, yeah, that is a 26 to hit.
That hits.
And it deals 1d12 plus stuff. Plus 3 plus 3 plus 6. 12 plus 6, 18 cold damage.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
Thanks,
Who
doing
needs
this better
thing-
than us.
You just had to get it out of mind prison.
Yeah, and its movement speed is reduced by 20 feet.
All right. Fun. So, all right. Shaw, give me that sweet, sweet wisdom saving throw.
Wouldn't have to be a charm, would it?
No, it's not a charm. It's just straight incapacitation.
Where's the D4?
Oh,
Yep.
Shaw.
Hold on, hold on. Was that 15?
Yay.
Sadly, that is not enough. As this discordance begins to rip through your mind.
I hate this thing.
These things are awful.
Wait, so incapacitation, no action or bonus actions, can I move?
I don't know if you can move. I
I
feel
would
like you
say
can't.
no, but literally the only thing incapacitated says is you cannot take actions or reactions. That's the entirety of the text.
What a horrible.
All right, so I guess you
condition.
can
Who invented
move.
that?
I thought we could.
Google
Chauncey
says
is
that you
like
can.
Lumped on the deck, crying tears of blood as his brain is getting fucked over here.
Right. So we have
Maybe for
three
the
people
roleplay
getting
flavor, you
mind
don't move.
fucked.
I guess I just want to get away from it. That's what's up.
All right.
I
You
look
can
at
move your movement
Velantrios
speed
and I'm
away
like,
from
it's
it.
me and you, baby. It's just us.
All right. And of course, at the top of the turn, the harpy keeps flapping violently, trying to steer the ship back on course. Leonidas is still spinning the wheel hard. These crew members are wary about this thing that's on the deck as they see more of these things beginning to float up towards the ship.
Oh, come on.
And one of them just got, murked. So
Yeah, one of the crew members did just get murked. But we are at the top of the turn with Velantrios. Unfortunately, you will have to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Come
I
on,
figured.
Velantrios.
That should be your thing, right?
You should be good at
13.
this.
Wait, you're blessed. You're blessed. Roll a d4.
Okay.
I don't think that might save you. That might
You roll a
save
4,
you.
it might save you.
He rolled a 4.
Yeah.
You just push through hard enough,
Go bless.
and you are not incapacitated. This thing is
Oh my
within
God.
melee range of you, though. What would you like to
Somebody
do to
please
it?
kill that thing.
I am not fucking with this thing anymore. I am just gonna do another third level guiding bolt.
All right, roll it. Roll that sweet, sweet attack roll. I was about to say damage.
Oh no.
It was the nat 1, so 9.
No.
You watch as this thing unravels, creating essentially a donut in the air as you fire directly through it before it back together. Its needle still pointed at you, which unfortunately, unless you have something else you would like to do, it is its turn, and it's going to attempt to poke you twice with its horrible ribbons.
Yeah, I have nothing else I can do, really.
So that's a 24.
Obviously that wait. Oh yeah, I'm looking at my walk speed, never mind.
And a 22.
I will silvery barbs one of those.
All right, we'll just do the one that's a 22. A 19.
Well,
19
I
damage?
No, 19 to hit.
To hit.
That hits.
All
I give
right.
myself advantage. 'Cause I can't rely on fucking
So
anybody
you're
yet.
taking
Hey, I killed the other one.
7 points of force damage from the first one.
Took all my port die, but
11 points of damage from the second one. And then I need you to make me an intelligence saving throw.
Sorry, so 7 plus 11, so that's
18.
18. Okay. And you want me to do an intelligence saving throw?
Yes, intelligence saving throw.
That's gonna be 19.
So you're taking half
There we go.
damage. So that'll be 17 points. No, wait. Halved.
8.
8 points of psychic damage.
I was like 17.
You're only
Jesus.
taking 8 points of psychic damage, which is super lucky.
So how much damage altogether? I'm not
8
gonna have
26.
26 points of damage.
Thank you.
This thing is awful. All right. So that is the end of its turn. Jed, you succeeded. You do not need to make the save again.
I think you skipped my
Oh, wait,
Wait, I
go.
think you
oops.
skipped everybody.
I did skip everyone.
Yeah.
Chauncey,
Like-
saving
He
throw.
just
Wait,
yelled
wait a minute.
dumbasses
Sorry.
aren't gonna make it anyways.
Not me. I mean, I know I'm
Doesn't trust in the saving
incapacitated, but
throws.
I got an 18 minus 2 again. I'm at 16.
You're still
Keep
blessed. Did you
rolling
bless?
16s.
Did you roll your d4?
My D4 was a 1.
Oh
yeah.
no.
You are still incapacitated. Lyla.
holy hell, Chauncey. Were you drinking last night? What?
Lyla, make your save.
Fuck. About to say the same shit about me.
Well, we know you were drinking last night.
I mean, yeah. There it
100.
is, the 20.
Yay.
You manage to break through the discordance, and you are free. Lyla is
All right.
free.
I have had about enough of this motherfucker. So let's see here. What is that save?
Orbs on this.
Oh no, that just happens. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna hex it, and then I'm gonna Eldritch Blast it twice.
Cool.
Well, Eldritch
Which
Blast
Lyla
coming
didn't
out.
Roll
use
those
that
Eldritch
weapon.
Blasts.
But
Oh.
yeah, so she has a crystal flute she uses as her warlock focus also. So her Eldritch Blast is probably like she like plays into the flute as like the energy gathers at the end, and then she'll like play a note and it like fires off or something here. All right, so we've got a 19
That hits.
and we have a 23.
That hits. Roll 'em.
Excellent.
And I think you only get, do you get your hex damage on each of those or only
Yep.
on one?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Anytime you hit with an attack.
Awesome.
Yeah. So,
So
that
it is possible that you could take this thing out.
19 plus, and the hex I think is it a d6?
I think it's an extra d6 of
It
damage.
is a d6.
An extra d6
That
of necrotic
was-
damage.
Yeah.
So it's a
19
d10 plus a
plus 8
d6 for
is
each.
27. Total of 27.
27?
Oh, split it, yeah.
All right. Yeah, you blast this thing with two Eldritch blasts. The ribbons are in tatters, but it is still managing to hold together. If there, unless there's anything else you would like to do, we will move on to Jed,
Nope, that's me.
who is fully capacitated.
I'm just
He's
like, God, you
all the
can't
way capacitated.
rely on goddamn anyone.
No one
Firebolt.
All right, roll it.
And I'm gonna do it at advantage from my silvery barbs. The first attack is a 19 to hit. The second
That
attack
hits.
is lower than that. All right. 2d10 fire damage. That is 11 fire damage.
All right, this thing is looking real haggard as it's just about managing to hold together.
And then my shadow spawn attacks.
Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty, so that's gonna be 14 to hit.
That just hits.
Fuck yeah. And then he deals 1d12 plus 6. 11 plus 6, 17 cold damage.
And as the shadow spawn slashes through this thing, it dies. The ribbons spiraling apart.
That's the game.
Jed
At
is
this
like
point-
supremely proud of himself.
The harpy-
Like-
Oh, I'm sure.
I
At
did
this point,
something.
the harpy manages to pull the ship out of this swirling whirlpool, her sisters singing into the sails. And as more of these little moat things begin to float up towards the ship, you see the Sphinx from earlier flies down into the vortex and roars so loud it shatters the moat. Lightning arcs through the sand as the sand vroom, makes a huge swell that rocks the ship to the side as you all tumble before the waters settle, or the sands, I should say, settle. And all is silent for a moment before the song comes back in full force. The harpies
Lila's obviously
land.
probably like jumping up and down, like, yeah, we did one, I did one.
Only one casualty.
Hey, blessed did work right there. Good job.
Only
Leohtweg.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, as
Honestly,
everyone's
it
just
did.
standing around the dead body, starting to like wrap it up and prepare it to like be taken somewhere.
What do you wanna-
I'll
Um,
go up to Chauncey.
Oh, I
Hey,
thought-
hey, Hey, you in there? Come on. Where are you?
Eventually, those of you that are incapacitated and did not make your saves come back. It's about maybe 45 seconds before you all kind of, whoa. And at this point, you see the giant harpy step on to the ship along with her sisters kind of landing on the various sails. The Sphinx does just fly off. But
Oh,
she,
Thank you.
standing on the boat, just, I pray you be more careful out there.
Right. Well, thank you for the assistance.
Ooh, of course.
Still blown
Yeah.
away that she's Scottish. But,
If you ever need me again, my name is Hester.
Hester,
Of course it is.
pleasure to meet you, Hester.
Cheers.
Jedidiah here. And all
And
my
are you?
friends.
Yeah.
Well, I pray that you are more careful on your journey.
I guess we'll try.
And hopefully we meet again under more favorable circumstances. But I bid thee farewell. And she kind of spreads her wings and then flies off along with the rest of her harpy sisters. And the rest of the day goes by relatively peacefully. It is awkward knowing that a crewmate has died on the ship. The body is carefully prepared. They have no place to put it. They don't really want to throw it into the singing sands, but it's just going to be somewhere wrapped on the ship.
Did anybody
And
check
you
his...
all,
No.
you
Did I
probably
say that
wouldn't
out loud?
find anything in his pockets. I'll just say that. Nothing that a sailor wouldn't normally have in their pockets.
2 silver and 40 copper.
Just like a handful of copper, maybe a silver. You might be able to make a gold out of the change in his pocket, but that's about it. So unless anybody else has anything they would like to do, the day passes.
Sail on.
I'm gonna go lay down.
Yes, you
ice
do
pack.
all successfully get a long
Go with
rest.
Chauncey, make sure he's
Thank
okay. You know.
goodness.
The morning of the next day goes by. Once again, you have your weird, vivid dreams, and you wake up with those strange sensation, tastes in your mouth, sensations on your skin, smells in your nose, maybe a color or a shadow out of the corner of your eye. And as you continue throughout the day, you pass under an archway that seems to rise from the sand, large enough for the ship to pass under, almost an Arc de Triomphe, a huge white marble structure. And as it does, the prow of the ship seems to prick something for a moment, as if it were an invisible fabric in the air. And suddenly, these little motes, fireworks, begin to spiral through the ship, spiraling up the mast, crackling loudly as you begin to hear another song. This time, only what you could describe as some sort of island music. Steel pan, drums, xylophones, that sort of music, as these fireworks trace the ship before they spiral up into the air and crackle, bursting into rainbow colors, and 3 heads appear.
We have mage armor because I don't trust anything here.
Wait,
Of course.
after like yesterday's debacle, Chauncey swapped 8 out of his prepared spell list for enhanceability.
Of course.
So like the first sign of danger, enhanceability, wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck this place.
There
Not
we go.
surprised. Forming
So,
are 3
heads?
3 illusory heads. They look like golden eagle heads. And they all kind of look around for a moment before. I'm Melody, I'm Harmony, and I'm Lyric, and we are the Feather Sisters. If you're seeing this message, that means you're close to the Feather Sisters Emporium. It is only half a day's sailing You can restock and buy all kinds of things, musical instruments, spell scrolls, and perhaps a few trinkets. We are the premier seller of spells and instruments here in the Singing Sands. See you soon, before another crackling fireworks show. And the boat goes silent.
Wow.
Velantrios
Was that
looks at
an advert?
I think we were just advertised to.
Wow.
I guess I'll find like the captain or Kimiko or something, and be like, "Do you know about these sisters?"
I'm gonna say it's you probably find Toshiko. She's
Oh,
probably
I thought it
more
said Kimiko.
same. The names are similar, but
Yeah.
no, she is Toshiko.
Toshiko.
With her little red lantern Oki floating around.
Love him.
Yeah, I love Oki so much.
I know he's adorable. And she's, well, they are always new places when we sail. Time flows a bit differently around here. I'm not sure how long that the shop has been there, but if you wish to stop, it sounded like items you might want to buy. I'm sure the crew would like an hour or two break, perhaps to just lay on the deck, possibly cry.
Okay.
Right. Sorry about your friend there.
Oh yeah.
Well, it is the risk you take when sailing into the astral sea. It could have gone much worse.
Right. Well, I guess as long as it doesn't take us too off course, I wouldn't mind stopping.
Probably won't. If it is there, it is probably close by.
Well, all right.
Half a day sail, I think the ad said.
Yes, half a day's sail. Yes, half a day goes by of you sailing across these sands. The song has not stopped. It is continuous and eternal, as is the
Jed
ringing
is
of the
like
sand
dropping
pieces.
stuff over the side to see like what noise it makes when it like hits the ground.
It's weirdly harmonious as these objects hit the sand. It's weirdly harmonious. You would expect it not to be, but it is. And it's all different notes as you drop different items in. But as you continue sailing, you get to a place where the sand seems to fall away. Another hole in the sand, thousands of feet wide, at the center of which is a white spire. What appears to be some sort of establishment sits on top of this thin spire coming out of the exact center of this giant, almost perfectly circular hole in the sand, reaching up towards the sky. And the ship sails over the hole, not over sand, for the first time in quite a while, and the bells stop ringing. As the ship creaks closer and closer, you realize that there is a dock actually built into this thing. And there's a statue of 3 Aarakocra standing in a circle. One of them has a lyre, the other has a flute, and one has what appears to be some sort of lute. It's very clear that this is probably the Feather Sister Emporium.
They seem like your kind of people, Lyla.
Yeah.
You mean birds?
I was
I
gonna
think
say
he means
performers,
Extra.
I'm fucking with you. Let's
The
go.
boat almost seems to magnetically draw into the dock before it comes to a stop. Well, the crew are going to take a break. If you would like to go inside and
Yes,
check
please,
out
thank
what wares they have.
Lila's gone.
And they-
I was like, bye.
She's like jumping up and down next to, like a child, next to the entrance of the ship. She's like, please, please,
Get the
please, please,
hell
please.
off this boat.
The crew's just over there crying in the corner.
So yeah,
Chauncey's
they
just
let
gonna-
you.
Noticing the crew crying as we like get off the boat, Chauncey's gonna be like, he's not even looking at Jed. He's like, "Can't you bring dead people back to life? You said now."
Do you have like a few hundred golds worth of diamonds?
Do I have a few hundred golds worth?
I don't think so.
Also, I could only do it 1 minute after they die. So, checking my watch, I think it's been a little while. Like,
Wild, no.
you're silent there, Chauncey. What are you saying?
Oh wait, can you not
I
hear
think-
me?
I think
Now we
Chauncey
can.
feels bad because he really kicked his ass at chess the other day.
Oh, it was totally the guy that you beat in one move. You just moved the wrong pawn and you put his king in check and now he's dead.
That guy's one of his last memories is me beating him in one turn. Now he has to go to the afterlife like
I
that.
don't even think that was possible.
It's not his fault. You're changing the subject.
No, one, no diamonds. Two, it's been like several hours. So
Yeah.
Been at
we'll go
least
find
12.
diamonds. Let's go find diamonds.
So
Diamond
you
shopping.
enter this shop. Like the outside, the inside is just completely white. It is made entirely of what appears to be marble of some sort. As you enter, there's plenty of display shelves with many scrolls sitting on them, books, various dishes of objects. Looks like barrels of what appear to be maybe the sand itself. It's hard to tell. And there are quite a few on the floor, various displayed instruments. You see 3 Aarakocra, Golden Eagle Aarakocra, meandering the store, as 2 of them are helping customers. One seems to be an angel. White, glowing wings spread from his
Jed
shoulders.
pulls up his collar.
Shaw does not like this.
A
Shaw
mop
feels
of
very
curly blonde
uncomfortable.
hair underneath a tricorn cap and almost a sort of naval outfit on, leaning on a golden mace as one of the Aarakocra is showing off this beautiful lyre and kind of strums it a little bit, and he kind of nods and thinks about it. The other one is wearing a sort of bicorn hat with a feather. She has, it almost looks like she's wearing some sort of silver makeup, and she's also pale and a little bit on the blue side. She is wearing more of a piratey outfit, a sort of duster jacket with breeches, boots, that sort of thing, as she's kind of inspecting this small dish of what appear to be these sort of silvery coins, as one of the Aarakocra is explaining something to her quietly. But that seems to be all that's in this shop. One of them,
Oh, sorry.
one of the Aarakocra comes up to you. Oh, welcome. I'm Harmony. Welcome to the Feather Sisters Emporium. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
Actually, yes.
Browsing. Oh, Shaw has something in particular.
I need very
Oh.
specifically, I need a seeing focus and a hearing focus. It can be like an eye or a monocle or glasses, a ear, a horn, just one for seeing, one for hearing. Very specifically.
Unfortunately, I don't believe we have any ear horns, but I think we can whip you up a pair of glasses for seeing. Of course, we have plenty of other things. We have spell scrolls. We have musical instruments, if you would like to peruse those, and various other trinkets.
What kind of spell scrolls do you have?
Oh, wonderful that you ask. So we have Magnify Gravity, Fortune's Favor, Gift of Alacrity, Gravity Sinkhole, Lehman's Tiny Hut, Magic Mouth, Alarm, Ceremony, and Gentle Repose. And she kind of touches each of the cubby holes in which these scrolls are, and she does not mention the one that is on the end, that is also definitely a spell scroll, but she doesn't point to it and she doesn't say what it is.
Can we read
what
it?
There's
What
actually
about
no
that?
label on any of these things. It's
Oh.
weird. There's no label on anything.
What about that one over there? He points to the ones you didn't mention.
Oh, that's probably a bit out of your price range. I don't suppose you have 50,000 gold kicking around.
What kind
Oh.
of spell is it?
One that summons a single meteor.
Oh.
Oh my.
Oh.
Yes, it was quite a prize to create. But unfortunately, we cannot sell it for anything lower than 50,000.
Can I ask which of these spells are ritual spells?
Oh, yes, I believe Tiny Hut, Magic Mouth, Alarm, Ceremony, and Gentle Repose are all ritual spells.
Wonderful. And
What
how
is-
much for each of those?
50 for each of them, 50 gold for each of them.
I'll take them all.
All right. Wonderful. And she kind of gathers one of each of them and she gives you the ritual spells, and you pay 250 gold.
Cool. Those magic mouth. I'm gonna write them down now.
Tiny Hut, Leomin's Tiny Hut,
Okay.
Magic Mouth,
Magic mouth.
Alarm,
Ceremony. Alarm.
and Gentle Repose.
Gentle repose. Cool.
And
Thank
what were the
you.
other ones?
Magnify Gravity, Fortune's Favor, Gift of Alacrity, and Gravity Sinkhole.
Gravity sinkhole. Wow. What's the gift of alacrity?
It gives you a little bit of a kick in situations. Think of it like giving yourself adrenaline.
Ah,
Basically,
and
it gives you a bonus to your initiative.
got it.
If you
What about
just like,
Max?
here, I'm gonna cast Gift of Alacrity on Velantrios for free today. This is what it's like for me. And he's just gonna tap him in the side of the head. Because he does that. Chauncey does
Yeah,
that.
you do
Yeah.
feel a bit faster. You do feel like your reaction speeds have sped up a little bit, like you've had a cup of coffee and it's just kicked in.
Yeah, because that's exactly what Velantrios needs. Um,
Velantrios, already slightly a chaos goblin, has
Yeah.
coffee now.
What about the maximize gravity?
Oh, gravity sinkhole. That just makes it harder for people to get up. It magnifies the gravity, of course. It pulls things towards the ground.
No, there was another one. Maximize something.
Oh, magnify gravity.
Magnify
Yes,
gravity.
it does a very similar thing, except it only goes downward. I believe, if I remember correctly, gravity sinkhole can pull things in all kinds of directions. And it can do a significant amount of damage to a person's body, practically
I'll do-
ripping it apart sometimes.
I'll do the gravity sinkhole.
All right, that'll be 500 gold. And let me look it up real quick, because you'd be able to read it and understand what it does. It might also be a bit high level for you all, but I included it anyway because shops sell high level stuff. If I can actually get to the damn spells. But there are other things. There's a few other like instruments. There's a few other objects around that the sisters seem to be selling at the moment while I'm trying to look this spell up.
So while you do that, when we went in and saw the angel, Chauncey definitely he stepped a little in front of Jed. Chauncey and Lovey may have formed a semicircle
Aw.
around Jed to block the angel's line of sight instinctively, because she
Yeah.
follows him and he's like, "This is not good."
But
Even I think
screw
Jed's
Velantrios,
taller than
right?
him. How tall is Jed?
Like 6 foot.
Jed is slightly taller than Chauncey. This is totally fine.
The
It totally
Okay.
it totally works.
So yes, gravity
horns are
sinkhole.
poking up above.
Yeah.
Gravity Sinkhole is a 4th level spell. I believe it is technically a wizard only spell. I'll have to check. It doesn't really say because it's Dunamancy. So like it's like add it to whatever spell list. It's like,
Oh, yeah,
okay,
it's
cool.
for those weird subclasses of wizard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, 20-foot spear of crushing force forms at a point you can see within range and tugs at the creatures there. Each creature in the sphere must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 5d10 force damage and is pulled in a straight line towards the center of the sphere, ending in an unoccupied space as close to the center as possible, even if that space is in the air. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much and isn't pulled. So it is a 4th level spell, which is why it is 500 gold. Would
Okay.
you still like Gravity Sinkhole?
Yes.
All right.
Pretty badass.
So, yep, 500 gold, and you get Gravity Sinkhole. There is, of course, also Magnify Gravity, which I shut the book like an absolute fucking idiot.
That's fine. I'm not gonna get it.
All right. We do have
How many
several.
diamonds?
Yes. And she basically takes you over to a barrel of diamonds. Looking at it, there's probably about 15,000 gold worth of diamonds just sitting in this barrel.
Seems safe.
Are these how expensive are these diamonds?
Well, how much gold do you want to spend?
How much sleight of hand do I want to check?
Could I maybe interest you in a trade, possibly?
Sure, I wouldn't mind a trade. What are you trading?
I'm an artificer, and I'm rather handy with certain items and infusions. I could whip you up bags of holding or a couple spell refueling rings.
I don't really need a spell refueling ring, but we could use a bag of holding. What if I gave you 200 gold pieces worth of diamonds for a single bag of holding? Does that seem like a fair trade?
Does that above game? Does that seem like a fair trade? How much does Chauncey sell bags of holding for?
I don't know. Bags of holding, I believe, are uncommon magical items, which means that they can be like 150 gold pieces to, around that sort of price range.
Yeah, Chauncey's gonna be like, that sounds perfect. Thank you. Give me just a moment and make sure you never put one bag of holding inside of another bag of
Well,
holding,
of
okay?
course, everybody knows that. And
You'd be
she
surprised.
goes and she kind of looks at behind her desk as she kind of pulls out these like scoops almost as she kind of reads, and she pulls out one that's kind of a little bit large and a silk bag as she walks over and just shovels one scoop into the bag.
Chauncey's gonna pull out a non-bag of holding from his bag of holding and just like punch over it while he infuses it. And then he's like, and now it's got like some fucking glittery embroidery on the flap as the magic cuts in.
Mhm. She takes the bag and gives you 200 gold pieces worth of diamonds. Wonderful. I'll be putting this to good use.
How
Thank
much
you.
was those glasses?
Oh, we can just whip those up for like 5 silver pieces.
Thank you.
Of course.
200 enough to
perused
cast
the-
Revivify? I forget.
Mhm.
It's 100 gold worth to cast.
So you can cast 2 Revivifies with that nice little trade.
Just
There are some
shove them at Jed and I'm like, here, the next time a crew member dies. Or one of us.
Well, I'd say thank you, but honestly, I mean, I'm gonna be the one doing. But thanks.
So are you all interested in anything else? Musical instruments, perhaps? We also have some Dust of Disappearance. We have some Sending Stones, perhaps a Weapon of Warning.
Oh, sending sense? How much for
Um,
sending sense?
That'll be 150 gold pieces.
Oh, I want the sending stones.
Of course. And she pulls out these 2, like, they almost look like they're made out of some sort of opal. There's parts of them that are clear. It seems as you look closer, you realize most of this stuff that's like clear or white is just the sand of the singing sands pressed together super hard until it forms a single object. And so you get these 2 sending stones. And you pay 150 gold. Well, seem like a performer, ma'am. Could I interest you in any of the musical instruments that I have on offer?
Well, I suppose I've been looking for an upgrade for my viol.
Oh, well, of course. We have plenty of magical instruments. If you're more inclined to flutes, we have these two. And she shows you two flute. They are crystal flutes as well.
Of course.
One of which has a little crystal raven on the end, and the other of which has beautiful like leaf and flower designs in it.
Hmm.
We also have this harp over here, and it's literally like shaped like a harp, except it's like a third the size with a like a strap that you can strap over your body. And we
Good.
have this lyre.
Well, I tell me more about the flutes, I guess.
Well, these ones, she points to the leaf and the harp and the lyre, are instruments of the bard. They have some special properties and special spells. I can't quite remember which one does which, but this one, she picks up the one with the little raven on the end. These are pipes of haunting.
Oh,
Frighten your
and-
enemies.
She doesn't need help with that.
No, not usually, but it is better to be safe than sorry. What are you asking for, let's say both of the flutes?
Both of the flutes? Well, one will only be, the pipes of haunting will be about 150. The other will be about 500.
Look, I'm at the shopping network.
I know.
I'm not so sure about all that. I do want both flutes, but that's just a bit too much. You sure you couldn't do 500 for both of them? Persuasion check?
Make me a persuasion check.
No!
How about let's make that a nat 20.
Yes!
Oh,
You
because
have
it's
it.
a new day. Yeah.
right. I don't know if
Roll
that's
a
probably
two.
I
I
don't know
guess
if I'm
it's-
gonna regret wasting my nat 20 point die on that, but
Make me 150 gold.
Well, I guess we don't really get very many bards coming on through here. So I guess I can. So it is 500 gold for a Pipes of Haunting.
Gold.
And the flute. Oh. I thought those were all the same rarity. They are not.
Oh.
So it looks like we're gonna do 150 for both.
Okay, what's the flute about then?
The
other?
flute is technically, because I didn't really like the appearance of this instrument, it's technically a Foclucan Bandore. Fochlucan Bandore. It can cast Entangle, Fairy Fire, Shillelagh, Speak with Animals, Fly, Invisibility, Levitate, and Protection from Good and Evil.
Jesus.
that's wow.
And to think,
So
it's an
about
uncommon
this
magical
harp.
item.
Jesus Christ.
You said it was 150 for both then?
Yes, because the Foclucan Bandore is only an uncommon magical item.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so I
And
have to
only
add.
bards can use these, right?
Only bards can use them. Like, it
Cool.
fucks up your head if you try and use it and you're not a bard.
Can you tell me about the other fancy little instruments you got going on there since this flute's so special?
So the other one is technically the oh, it is also going to be 150 because it's the Macframide Cittern. It casts Bark Skin, Cure Wounds, Fog Cloud on top of the Fly, Invisibility, Levitate, and Protection from Evil and Good.
It's a what? Let's say that again.
It has fly?
It's the Macframide, Macfirmidh Cittern.
Oh, I
Jesus
found it.
Christ.
Okay. A cittern. And you
And it
flavored
has-
this as what?
You get free flies each day now?
Yeah, what the hell?
Apparently, if you
Christ.
decide to attune to both of these instruments, are you planning on
it
attuning
takes
to both of
numerous
these?
Note
thoughts.
to
They are
self,
attunement. They do require
I mean,
attunement.
it's still really good.
I think I should get level and bard next time to steal one of these flutes.
Yeah, Yeah.
Just
Well, I
let me
got
get
the
to level
like
14 and I can use them too.
So the Fakloken is the flute. The Macromide is the harp.
yeah.
And then the lyre is actually not a. I did not read my own notes very well because the other one is a siren song lyre and it is 5,000 gold pieces.
That's gonna be a Nah, I'm not gonna press my luck. What does it do?
I forget which book it's in, unfortunately. If someone can look it up, because I was smart and did not write down what it did. What book is it in? We're professionals on this show.
It's from Mythic Odysseys of Theros.
That's what it is.
Animal Friendship, Charm Person, Enthrall, Suggestion.
Ooh, suggestion springs.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna get all those spells. Like, I'll have access to all those at next level up. So,
Sure.
like, if I want.
All right.
The only
so
one
the
that
Siren Song
really
Lyre
I'm
is probably a
excited
little
about
out of
is-
your.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely out of my price range. I was just trying to debate whether I wanted to fake presence and like do another suggestion or persuasion check. I mean, but I feel like I couldn't get that big.
Feel of fucking flight over there for 150 gold.
Lyla, the one-woman airline.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna be quite a
So,
show next
no.
time Lyla does a performance.
I think that'll be good. Let's see.
I'd like
if I
to think
can-
she accidentally activates the fly and just it's like scraping along the ceiling, doing loops around the bar, head scraping along the ceiling.
Well, that'll be interesting. Yeah. Well. Thank you very kindly. That's
Of course.
a wonderful addition to the collection.
We also, of course, have, as I said, the Weapons of Warning. We also have Chimes of Opening. They are 500 gold. I will say, once all the charges are used, it will shatter. I don't want to mislead you, of course. And then, in case you were wanting one of these, she actually picks up one of the coins and kind of drops it on the floor. As it hits the floor, it shoots red sparks and makes a high-pitched ding as it hits the floor. But she picks it up and pling! It soars all the way up to the ceiling, which is actually really high, comes back down as it strikes the ground. The sparks are orange, and it makes a slightly lower ding. Just in case you all go spelunking. It'll be a gold for
measures
5.
distance.
No.
The tone is helpful, I guess.
Yes.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, maybe we should.
Is
I
one,
don't
I'll
think a
buy one,
handful of those
whatever.
would be a horrible idea.
All right,
Yeah.
that'll be 1 gold. Now, mind you, these are not legal tender in any place in the Astral Sea. As she hands you a
Cool.
coin.
Right.
It is a coin of delving. Well, unless you have any other business, you can peruse a little bit, but you can call out for help if you need it.
Of course. Thank you very much. I don't know. I'm good. I mean, I got
I'm
this bad out
set.
of flute.
Jed
Like-
just has his nose in these scrolls, and you watch as he reads them, like more tattoos start appearing on his body.
All right.
Chauncey's gonna buy 200 more gold worth of diamonds, but he's keeping. Yeah, he's gonna buy 200 more gold worth of diamonds.
All right, so fork over 200 more gold, and she gives you another scoop into your silken bag. All right. Well, it was wonderful to do business with you. Hopefully we'll see you again. And at this point, you watch as the woman in the sort of blue uniform just walks off the side of the building, and there's a moment where you're just terrified. You just watched a woman just jump, and then whoosh, this huge silver dragon flies up out of the pit and off into the distance.
Uh,
Oh,
is that normal around here, or?
Oh, yes. Yes, that's Captain Shamira Drake. She captains the
course.
Draconian fleet that sails around here sometimes.
course she
interesting.
And yeah, well, I'm set.
Right. Me too.
Great.
All right. And so you all head on back. The ship waits about maybe 45 more minutes before casting off to let the crew kind of take a breath. And as you sail
While
off,
they're still waiting, Jedidiah goes up to uh the crewmates and it's like, I'm sorry I wasn't able to bring your friend back, but I do have something I can do for him now to help him rest a little easier.
well, that would be nice.
And I will ritual cast gentle repose on him.
All right. So as you close the eyes of the body and the shimmer of the spell wraps itself around the body, and the ship sails off into the distant sands. One more day of travel left until you leave the Singing Sands. We're going to leave the episode there. So thank you very much for joining us. Join us next week as we head into the city of Mask and figure out what all fun stuff is going to go on there. I will see you all next week.